All right, so we see there's a lot of comments asking about the backstory.
So today we're going to give the backstory.
We grew up here, small town Iowa.
Central Iowa.
Central Iowa. We're in the good part of Iowa. We have hills and trees, not just flat, you know, not the bad part of Iowa.
We're just going to go over our operation that we grew up with. Our dad ran 262 head of cattle, cow-calf pairs, growing up, but that was not his full-time job. He ran a construction company in Des Moines area, and that was his bread and butter, and that's how he paid for everything. The farm was just a hobby. And by a hobby, having 262 head of cattle.
It was a full-time hobby.
Yeah. We
45-hour type of full-time hobby.
We definitely grew up not really seeing our dad a whole lot, other than he would come pick us up after work, scoop us up, and take us out to do chores, and that was basically the only quality time we really had with him.
A lot of time in the back of a truck going to cow auctions, a lot of road trip miles.
Yep.
A lot of time hauling hay to cattle and feeding cattle at night.
Yep.
But other than that, it was about 8 o'clock at night. He'd get home, and 5 a.m. in the morning, he was gone, I feel like.
So the second point, the farm never really funded itself. He was always taking money from the construction business to fund the farming, because I don't think he actually wanted to do construction his entire life. Maybe that could be a video one of these days. We'll get him on here.
Hijack him.
But from our point of view, we definitely grew up farming, for sure.
And
every weekend we were working cattle or hauling hay or doing something. There was never really any free time.
And it was not easy farming.
So we got some Pacifics, actual Pacifics, from our father here. In his peak, he ran 262 head of cattle. Not cow-calf pairs, 262 head of cattle. And then he had 262 calves every year.
And remember, this is a full-time side gig we're talking about. He was not a full-blown farmer.
And because of that, we never really did row crop. So we got into row crop towards the end of, I would quote, my high school career.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. It was probably 2014 we got into row crop.
Yeah, 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. That's when we finally bought the case, the planter, the Massey, and everything else, because at the beginning of the time, he only had one tractor, and that was the 4430, that John Deere.
And some skid steers. He had a front wheel assist. Did
McCormick.
some silage. Yep.
He did have that thing was garbage.
As we have found out, they all are.
At his peak, he had 262 head of cattle. He owned roughly 300 plus acres. I think the official count was like roughly 330.
And between the transition from him doing cow-calf, he kind of got out of farming for a little bit, followed a different business venture. And a lot of the fat cattle that we got into after doing the row crop, or alongside the row crop, I guess, after we got out of the cow-calf pairs, we got into the fat cattle side of it. And a lot of that kind of funded some other ventures that he had. So a lot of this equipment that you see sitting around here, it's got neglect.
Well, at the same time, he couldn't work on everything, go work full time, and farm in the afternoons and evenings, because that's the only time he ever had to farm.
There's only so much time in a day.
Yeah, and granted, he was 30s and 40s when he was doing all this, not 20s and teens when you actually have the energy. He was also living in town at the time. He was never living on the same farm as all the cattle was, and I mean, they were scattered all over the county, so it would be nothing for him to drive all over the county after he got off of work just to go check cattle. So,
and I guess we kind of never talked about the whole point yet while we were making this video.
Yeah.
We stopped everything and parked everything. When we were growing up, it was kind of, there was no future in the farming, I guess, as far as our parents saw. They wanted us to go out and do something else. They make a business.
Yep.
Work for somebody.
Have a good job, have good health insurance.
Have a stable job.
Yeah.
Something that's concrete, locked down. There's no based off the market or the weather this year.
Yep. And to be fair, our grandfather on our mother's side also had his own farming operation at the time. So we were very well versed in the farming side of things, and we saw
Yeah.
both sides, and we saw the good, we saw the bad. I mean, it wasn't no 80s farm crisis, but at the
Yeah.
same time, my grandfather sat me down and he asked me what I wanted to do. This was before I graduated. He asked me what I wanted to do, and I told him I wanted to farm. He said, don't do it. It's not worth it. You'll never have any money. You'll grow up poor and everything else. But farming is an addiction. Like, once you get it in your blood, there's nothing else you can think about.
It's more rewarding than any other job you'll do.
Yeah, there's not the money in it, but it is 100% about the reward. So,
But needless to say, both of us went off to college, moved away.
so I guess after we graduated college, roughly the same time, because I went to a 4-year, you
did a
went to a
2-year.
2-year. Yeah, because we literally graduated like a week apart,
Yep.
which is weird. But after college, I came home and worked in the construction business because that's what paid. I worked in the construction job. Worked for my dad. That was we built houses. Is literally
Yeah.
what he did. So
When the time we both turned 14, the option was go find a job in town or you're coming to work with me. And we both chose we're going to go work construction in the summers.
I didn't mind it.
So-
I think you hated it.
I was not a fan.
So
Not a fan.
that being said, I worked for him after college for a little while because I couldn't find a job that paid me what I
Anything
was
close.
worth, and he could pay me like $6 an hour more in construction than I could working for a co-op or whatever else. But that being said, chased a girl to South Dakota, met some really great people up there, and I started climbing towers, cell phone towers and broadcast towers, and I did that for 2 years. I fell in love with that job. It was so fun. I got to travel the country. I think I worked in 20 some states.
It was everywhere.
It was everywhere. But the thing that got me was I was never home. I was home for 4th of July and I was home for Christmas, and that was pretty much it. And Thanksgiving if I was lucky. So
Yeah.
that being said, I finally got sick of it because climbing cell phone towers 300 feet in the air, negative 20-degree weather in North Dakota is
Wow.
not fun. So eventually got out of that, came back to work for the construction company. And then I bought the farm over there, and lo and behold, I met a horse girl. And many of you know this, but the horse girl had horses on the acreage, and I got tired of buying hay for $6 a bale and knew I could make it cheaper, so I justified spending the money on the baler and getting all the equipment back up and running. Because as you'll probably notice in some later videos, we have all the equipment to farm. It just was not running.
It's
So
been sitting. Yeah.
last year was my first year doing hay. Did it, fell in love, and I got the farming bug again. Like I'm ready to go back and I want to do it. Lance, after you graduated, what'd you do?
Went to college, worked at Firestone for 2-3 years, ended up moving back. At this time, Grant was still out in South Dakota, and I just wanted to move back to Des Moines because I had no intention of Omaha.
To preface, he moved back to Iowa, and then literally like 2 weeks later, I moved out to
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Yep.
So,
like 5 years, we didn't really ever see each other except holidays.
yep.
But worked in Des Moines for a while, ended up buying a house in Des Moines. Nice, quiet little neighborhood by, we won't name it, but middle of Des Moines. Good times. Ended up moving down here, want some peace and quiet. Now I have a wife, a 3-year-old little boy, and a 1-year-old little girl, and yeah, we're ready for some farm life, some animals. Get back to it, out of the city.
Raise his kids the same way we were raised.
Yep.
Put that work ethic into them so they don't end up like 80% of people that walk through a door at a job.
My boy loves to go outside and touch the grass. So that is the biggest thing a parent could ask for, I tell you what.
The hardest thing is getting him to put pants on while he's doing it.
Oh, you don't have that.
But yes,
He is feral.
But in conclusion, like we could just never make it work at the same time. We were never home at the same time.
Yep.
Our dad was always focused on the construction business, and now we are finally in a place where we have some disposable income. We have the time to do it, and we're just gonna commit.
And for reference, we live roughly 3.5 minutes apart between our grandmother's farms, his farm, and my place now. If it makes it in there or not,
Our mother worked 7 to 5. She made all the money so we could have a comfortable life.
Yep.
And our dad could pursue his dreams, which
Yeah.
is fantastic. And she was definitely the parent that raised us.
The Rock. Yeah.
Yep. So shout out to her for doing everything raising us.
Yep.
And dad just putting in the work ethic, instilling the work ethic.
He did a lot of the
yeah.
hard moments,
Yes.
the learning moments.
Yes. But when you grow up on a farm, the learning moments could be life or death too.
Yeah.
So there was definitely a lot of butt chewing going on from him.
Yeah. Yeah. Do have some more equipment if you guys want to see it. We saw some questions about it.
The only reason we're not working on anything today is because it's like 110 degrees in the shade. It feels
with all of the humidity. I'm wet sitting here. I don't know if that shows up on camera.
I don't know. I walked outside this morning and I could just drink the air. It's so humid. So we're gonna have to get some AC fixed in some of these tractors. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've never had working AC in a tractor. I've never even had a working radio in a tractor. I don't know if you have.
No.
Grandpa did, but that was a luxury of going to farm with him.
Yeah.
Here there was no AC. So I think today, all we're really gonna do is an equipment tour, kind of go over what we have, what our future projects are gonna be.
And some of this stuff that you see sitting around here, no peach back then.
It was definitely used and abused.
Yes.
And
a lot of stuff has had a hard life, needless to say.
yes. So that being said, I think we'll go ahead and get into an equipment tour.
Yeah.
So this is the original tractor. This is the first tractor my dad ever bought when he started farming. I'd say he basically started from scratch. His dad didn't really hand him down anything other than they had an 80 he could run cattle on.
Yep.
But no real equipment that I know of.
His father was from the construction background as well, not the farming.
Yeah. So it's just a 4430. It's got a ton of hours on it. This is the main chore tractor we had. I mean, as you can tell, we use and abuse this thing. This is a cattle farmer's tractor by today's standards. It's quad range. We got a lot of things to do. The reason we parked this is I think something in the transmission is messed up, or the hydraulic pump is messed up, because towards the end of its time when we were using it, the hydraulics kind of faded in and out and we had a whole bunch of problems with it. So we ended up just parking it. I do remember right before we parked it, we put a brand new stack on it because that one rusted away. And fairly
I put that
soon,
starter in there, yeah. I do remember that.
So fairly right before we parked it, we did put a new starter on it. So
Why did we put a new stack on this, Grant?
I don't know. Why did we put a new stack on it, Lance?
It's a little story behind the stack. I'm gonna blame it on Grant, but like 90% chance it was me. We were doing high gear down the gravel and full load of big rounds behind me, probably 14. Just starts bunny hopping. And all I see is the stack pop up, come flying in the cab. I try to grab it, it falls out right under the tire. So, needless to say, Dad, not pleased. But look at the new stack.
And as you see is kind of how we used it. The door kind of quit working and broke.
Yep.
So we just took it off. It was way easier than trying to replace all the glass in it.
I busted the back window out, jackknifing the stock trailer.
Yep. Great
Gotta
success.
love your kids. Yes.
Great success. So that is the backstory behind this one. We'll kind of move on to some of the other equipment we got. So basically we have 3 tractors we got to try and revive. I have 3 tractors over at my house now that all run. We're going to get everything going, and the goal is to actually like farm all the ground that my dad owns and grandma owns.
Yep.
Whether or not that'll actually happen, I don't know. Since our dad had a construction company, he mainly relied on these for work, and eventually I think this one got wore out enough that he just brought it home for us to use on the farm. This was our hay machine. We were able to, I tell you what,
2 bales, 1 each fork, And there is nothing better than never opening a gate, because that has got a 40-foot boom on it.
44-foot reach.
You just full boom out right in the hay rings. There is nothing better.
If you don't have one of these on your operation, I would highly suggest getting one, because never having to open a gate and just flopping them right over the fence.
Absolute game changer.
Yes. We do have a big round baler. We will eventually have to get back up and running. I'm just gonna kind of keep it in the weeds for now, but
I'm sure it needs new belts and such.
yes. This is my tractor. This is the one that I ran all the time. I was in charge of tillage and basically anything that was hooked to this tractor. So I parked it here either freshman year of college or senior year of high school. I can't remember. I'm just gonna say 2016 is when I parked it. It was the first time I'd ever planted. I was so proud. Made it all the way back here, planted everything myself. I did all soybeans, so it didn't really matter how straight my rows were.
Right.
That's kind of why Dad let me do it. But it's a Case 2670. We bought this as a tillage tractor. It was, it was dirt cheap when he picked it up. I think he didn't pay hardly anything for it. So to be fair, to buy one of these in the same condition, you can scoop one up for $2,500 to $3,000 non-running.
Marketplace, yep.
Running, but not steering, because they have a problem with the steering cables, you're looking like $4,000. So if we end up blowing this thing up, like, you know, some people on Facebook were very concerned with us doing, thinking that I had the throttle wide open trying to start it.
I mean, if you guys want to see some red line starts, we can make that happen, but
even if we do blow it up, it's not the end of the world. You can scoop another one of these up for $2,500 to $3,000.
Yep.
And if we even if we just kept this as a parts tractor, it'd be nice. If not, we could just scrap it and still get like half our money back out of it.
The planter we got from up in northern Iowa. Long ride home with it.
Place called Strawberry Point. I can still smell the beans molding because we didn't have time to clean it out. And when I say we didn't have time, I don't think we just really wanted to do it. And the piece de resistance, we got the Massey 3690. There's not a whole lot of them, but I do know a few of them around us. So parts are actually pretty available around us. We have a couple Massey Ferguson dealers fairly close to us.
Don't worry, we do have all the paneling. We'll get it back on there before we run it.
All the paneling is in the storage shed up at the top there. So we will get that on. Mainly, we just want to get some tires on it, see what it's actually going to need, and see if it's going to go high-low. The light lights up on the dash, so hopefully it's just a relay issue and not a power issue. This was basically a supplemental tractor to this one, because when Dad bought it, he bought this 16-row planter and was going to plan on using it to plant, and it was going to be a planter tractor. So when he bought it from Strawberry Point, which is the dealer north of us, quite a ways, he had him turn the pump up, and I think it dynoed at 206 horsepower.
Yep.
With a factory 180.
And if you guys are questioning why we have a 16-row planter for less than 400 acres, we need to emphasize this is a full-time side gig. He was trying to cut time wherever he had.
So if he could cut time by doubling his planter width, because you got to remember, he didn't have all day to farm. He only had afternoons, evenings, and weekends. So you got to go big when you're doing that so you can save time that way. But the plan is get this thing running. I need to use it for mowing hay because I got a 16-foot hay mower over at my house, and my little 110 horse tractor is just not quite enough for some of the hills we got around here. And this is our 90s Freightliner. I don't know exactly what year it is. We call it the Weeds on Wheels or the Overgrown Chia Pet. I don't know what you call it. It runs and drives. It just
needs some batteries.
Needs some batteries. We had to put a new water pump in it this year. We use this as a grain truck during the fall.
Truck, rock truck, distillers, cattle feed.
This was a haul truck. Like we use this for everything. So this one I do know runs and drives. I don't know if it's DOT legal.
We'll get you a little interior tour. This is pretty much the Taj Mahal. Sorry. It's locked.
It is not locked. That handle does not work. You got to climb in from the passenger side, Lance.
Give me a second.
I don't think we'll worry about it. It's got a 3406 cat in it, and this thing is an animal when it comes to hauling grain. So that's a little bit of our equipment tour. I got some stuff over at my house that actually runs and operates, I would say. So we'll maybe add those at a later date. So that is basically the equipment tour that we got. There's some missing equipment around here that
Miscellaneous here and there stuff.
It's all implements, so the big stuff we got on camera anyway. So the goal is for us to get back into farming. Again, I don't think we'll ever do it full time. I think we'll just be weekends and afternoons. Because honestly,
I plan on getting more into the cattle side of it,
and I want to do
a lot of row
more
crop,
of the hay and the row crop. So I think that'll be a good
mix and match there,
and basically combine entities into one and have one decent operation. So, well, if you want to see more of this content, like and subscribe. I hate saying this, but like you got to, because you guys won't like and subscribe unless I say something. So, yeah,
gonna have to make them beg for it.
Don't make me beg for it, please.